Hello everybody. Today we are going to review the movie The Curse of Sleeping Beauty. I think actually I might have seen this one before, ironically. On TV I just didn't know what I was watching and it was already in the middle of the movie, so I think I just ended up skipping it because I actually remember Bruce Davidson being in this movie. So I'd seen him before, and I'm not sure whether I've actually seen him in anything else. I guess he's been in the X-Men movies too, just looking at it, but I swear to God I remember seeing him in something either very similar to this, or this was the movie that I actually ended up seeing him in. I'm not really sure, because I don't recognize any of the other titles. So yeah, I'm gonna say this was probably the movie that I saw him in. I was just so far into the movie on TV that I just ended up not really paying that much attention to it, but it was actually a fairly good movie. I was actually kind of surprised. Now, obviously, some of the it was supposed to be, I guess, paranormal, but I would say some of the paranormal in it was a little bit goofy with the mannequins and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, why are mannequins always seem to be the first go-to for horror as to being scary, I guess. So they're fighting off these weird demons, and I can't remember the name of it, except for like the main demon was called a veil demon, I do believe. I do believe that's what they were saying. And there's obviously different types of demons, right, and how they're created or whatever. And the demons that they're fighting in the house are created by fire, I guess. So they take over the body of it's kind of weird because like it's almost like the humans that this veil demon was. So the humans turned into mannequins, which is really weird over time, and it looks like the veil demon was actually creating them that way. I'm not really sure exactly how that connection was, but anyhow. So we start off with this guy named Thomas, who clearly is a very, he's a shut-in, basically. He doesn't go out at all, doesn't do anything with people, even though he has a friend. I guess I think it must have been his wife or girlfriend that died. And then after that, he just kind of used, I believe it was his girlfriend or wife, and after her death, he used her death as an excuse to just become a shut-in and close the outside world from himself, right? But he keeps having this recurring dream about this girl that's sleeping. I guess hence the name of the movie, The Curse of Sleeping Beauty. So that's kind of what he calls her in the dream, I guess. But her real name is Briar Rose, and he finds that out a little bit later on when he has inherited this house from his uncle, who he had no idea he even had an uncle until he got this letter from him saying that he had inherited this house. Now, what was the name of the house? It had a name. Some sort of garden. Something Gardens. I don't know why it doesn't say here. Anyhow, so now he's inherited this house, and I guess the dreams kind of get a little bit stronger as he goes along. And obviously they begin to feel more real as he gets closer to finding this Briar Rose woman. And they do actually find out that she is in the house, because there's this weird, like, I don't know, it almost looks like I guess kind of like the spindle thing that Sleeping Beauty touches when she goes to sleep. So anyhow, the mannequins are kind of trying, it seems like they're trying to keep him away from Briar Rose, right? And he obviously thinks that he has to get to Briar Rose in order to lift this curse because he seems tied to the house. The farther he gets away and the more time he spends away from the house, the more in pain he becomes. And then he finds out, I guess it wasn't actually him that found out. It was the guy that was deciphering the code, that was helping them decipher the code. So he also teams up with Linda and Richard. So yeah, Linda was the one looking for her brother, and Richard is a paranormal. I guess he studies the paranormal, and he clearly has a very extensive background in it because he knows like chants and stuff to keep the demons away from them. He knows the names of all the demons and so on and so forth. So yeah, he has a very extensive knowledge. And then when they team up with Linda's old boyfriend Derek, I believe was his name, he deciphers all the codes. And then he realizes close to the end of the movie that actually Thomas is actually part of this bloodline that is actually the demons themselves. So I guess the closer he got to Sleeping Beauty, the more evil he was becoming, and the demon was slowly taking over him. Because it's kind of weird. They did a very good job of making Sleeping Beauty look like the good person in this entire movie, right up until the very end when he wakes her up, because he goes, "Oh right, the bloodline," and then kind of like bites his lip hard enough to make himself bleed a little bit, and that's how she wakes up. And then kind of the way she was looking around, I'm like, something isn't right about this. But I didn't suspect anything until that exact scene. And then all of a sudden her eyes turned black, and I was like, yep, she's the real evil one. I'm like, the rest of the demons were trying to keep him away from her so that he wouldn't be completely taken over. And she takes him to like this weird alternate reality type deal. And then you can see like, I guess the demon kind of taking over him completely now that he's in, I guess it must be her world. So yeah, that's how the movie ends actually, is just him being completely taken over. So I'm kind of interested to see if there's ever going to be a sequel to this. I don't know how well this movie did. It got a 4.3 on IMDb. I'm going to score it a 6 because I still did enjoy the film. Some of it was a little goofy. Kind of the mannequin thing I found a little weird. I wish they had touched on that a little bit more as to how the humans were turning into mannequins, and yeah, like what kind of procedure the Veil Demon was doing in order to make these humans into mannequins, because people were just disappearing and nobody really knew why over the last like 140 some odd years, 150 some odd years, whatever Linda had said. So yeah, it was a little odd that they didn't touch on that anymore. And it seems that all the family members before Thomas in that bloodline had somehow passed away, either due to suicide or some other form of I don't really want to say like self-harm, but they always died somehow from like some sort of weird I guess sickness or something at a very young age, or just being shut-ins and then going crazy kind of and committing suicide and so on and so forth. So I guess his family didn't have the best of what am I trying to say here? His family bloodline, at least on that side, I guess didn't have the best of luck. I don't really know what other way to put it. Yeah, I don't really know what else I can really say there. But anyhow, I will talk about, I do just want to go over who played who. So Thomas was played by Ethan Peck. Briar Rose was played by India Isley, I guess would be how you pronounce that. Linda was played by Natalie Hall, and Richard was played by Bruce Davison, and Daniel was played by James Adam Lynn. And I guess he had like this appraiser come over too at one point, Billings. And unfortunately, I don't think Billings made it out alive. I think he ended up being literally eaten by one of the demons. So, yeah, he did not have the best ending for sure. He kind of succumbed to the circumstances, I guess, in that house. Unfortunately, he was played by Scott Allen Smith, and then the friend at the beginning, Nathan, was played by Zach Ward. I believe that was his friend. Yeah. Oh, really? She was in this too? Part did she play? I just realized that Madeline Petch was in this, but I'm not sure who she even was. It says Eliza, but huh, I don't know. That's weird, because I don't even remember seeing her in the movie. Interesting. Maybe she was just like a voice or something? It's kind of odd. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. IMDb seems to kind of rate some of these movies low that I like enjoy a little bit more than they do. I don't know. Maybe it's just because uh, I don't want to say I'm not as critical, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm a movie buff. And yeah, I mean, 6 isn't really a very high score either, but I would give it a 6. The only criticism I really had was probably the mannequin thing and them not touching on the, yeah, how they were doing that and, yeah, the procedures that were acquired to turn somebody into a mannequin slash demon type creature. But anyhow, I think that's it. That's all I can say about this movie. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If not, you can go watch it on Amazon Prime, and I recommend that you do because everybody's opinion is different, right? Who knows what you might rate this movie yourself if you watch it, if you're into that kind of thing. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.